me know. Let me know if you can see my screen. We should be good to go. Code sandbox. Okay, I'm gonna create a new folder for inside the existing folder. Let me see. Arrays. That doesn't work. That's fine again. I'm gonna create a new Node.js. Like JavaScript. I think it was Node.js one, right? Last time we were using. Today we had one offer, by the way. Girl, finally she got an offer.
Congrats. Good news.
Yeah, we were really waiting for her to get an offer. She was working hard. So that was really good news. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. And as far as arrays go, I think you guys remember it pretty good. This is going to be just basically very high level walkover. I don't think we need to go into the details of each part unless there will be some questions. We'll go about explaining each part in detail, okay? So we're going to talk about arrays. They are the fundamental aspect of JavaScript. Not only JavaScript, but in any programming language. It provides a way to store multiple values in a single variable, meaning it's a storage for us to be able to store more than one variable or more than one value element. They allow developers to manage and manipulate collections of data efficiently, meaning a list of elements, and you will be able to manipulate them, loop through them, update them if needed, add, remove items from there. It is a very efficient way of storing data, depending on the task. Today, we'll cover the basics of arrays and explore some of the most commonly used array methods in the JavaScript. What is an array? Array, it's basically is a special variable which can hold more than one value at a time. For example, here, the colors, we have aqua, red, green, purple, orange. And this is a really interesting. This is the presentation I use for my SDET students to help them understand like the array, they're connected. Like just like a train, they're connected, but the only way for us to identify each of these elements is by, first of all, the name. But from a programming perspective, JavaScript will understand or identify them using the indexes. So for example, the first guy here, it's index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or we can also refer to this length minus 1, which is the last element of the array, the index of the last element of the array. And there are some common array methods. JavaScript provides some really interesting built-in methods for arrays manipulations. And mostly we could be using an array after we have initialized it or declared it, right? We created it and assigned values. For example, this is the way we initialize an array. I will show you multiple different ways to initialize it, like initializing an empty array and then being able to add values to it. This keyword, I think let const var. I think you guys remember this from our last class. Let is a way for us to create or initialize any variables. And here's one of the methods that we use in array. It's push. Push adds one or more elements to the end of an array and returns the new length. So for example, here, let numbers, we have 1, 2, 3, and we're pushing 4 to it. So we're gonna end up having 1, 2, 3, 4. And same thing goes to pop. Pop removes the last element from an array and returns that element. So whatever the value is returned by this pop method is the one that has been removed from the array. But again, it only removes the last element of an array. So if we got 1, 2, 3, 4, numbers dot pop is going to remove the last element of this array. So say we have let again food types equals, for example, oops, we're going to use the square brackets to initialize array. And we have, for example, Thai food, Chinese food, and Indian food. And we have Mexican and Italian. And give me a food type, Nurgulya.
Fergus.
Kyrgyz food. Okay. Andre.
Japanese.
Japanese. I love Japanese hibachi style food. Yeah. So let's say we have this array of food types. And here, if I wanted to, for example, first of all, let's go ahead and just print it out, right? Food types. And oh, I gotta save it. So when I save it, it says, oh, I have a typo in the log. Okay. Oops. And as you can see here, oh, okay, it printed out. There you go. And from here, for example, if I wanted to push one more Janar, give us one food type here. Push. Or should I just edit myself? Turkish. And then after that, I'm gonna try to print it out. Edit the food type. And we're going to print the food types. Save it. There we go. Now we initially didn't have Turkish as a food type. Last one was Japanese, and now at the end, it added Turkish. So we can also remove the last element from here. And what I'm gonna do is just copy this and bring it down here. Removed the last food type. And if I go ahead and save that, as you can see now, the Turkish food has been removed. And here's an interesting thing. Let removed Japanese food types dot pop. And let's go ahead and print this out. Type removed Japanese food. And if I go ahead and save this, as you can see here, it printed removed the last food type, which is equal to Japanese. So this pop method returns the removed element from an array. Any questions? Okay. Nurgulia?
So both like metas only works for the last one, right? It adds to the end and removes from the end.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Andrew, any questions? No, we're gonna move on. I think this is pretty straightforward. Okay. So, and again, I'm gonna send all this code at the end, right? Unless you guys want to type it. Is anybody typing along?
I'm not typing, I'm just following you and watching.
Good. Dinar?
No, I'm also following.
Good. That's fine. All right. So now we're gonna go with the next. So we have shift and unshift, just like we have push and pop, which adds and removes elements from the end of an array. Shift and unshift does the same thing, but it works with the beginning of an array. So shift removes the first element from an array and returns it, shifting all other elements to a lower index. So that means, for example, I have first, second, third, and items, the items array, items that shift is going to remove the first element and move all the others to the front, meaning now the 0 index has been updated to second, the first index was second, now it has been updated to third, and so on. It has to shift all the elements to the lower indexes. And also we have unshift. And unshift actually adds one or more elements to the beginning of an array and returns the new length, meaning like the new array that we have. For example, let items, and we have first, second, third, and now items that unshift, it's going to add, 0, it's going to add 0 to the beginning and shift all the other ones to the higher indexes. Okay. Here's another thing I can do. Index. Yes, this already exists, right? So what I'm thinking is to get all the code from, it can stay here. I'm gonna rename this guy. Push pop. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and create an index.js. So now what I can do is create let numbers equal 3, 4, 2, 7, 8, and 0. And we're gonna go ahead and console.log initial numbers. Okay, if I go ahead and save this, we What happened here? Let me rerun. Terminate task. Open the terminal one more time. Come on now. It does not want to work. That's fine. And all. Let's see. And from here, I'm going to delete permanently. I don't need that. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in here. It'll work this time, I promise. Every time it tries to run the Node.js server by setting up the server behind the scene so that it can recognize JavaScript code. Once we get to the vanilla JS, it's going to be much easier because we'll be in control of writing the entire code ourselves. 2, 3, it should run. Oh, is this the command that we could have used? The yarn run. Okay, Control C. The process terminated code. Okay, now let me see if I can. Okay, yarn. Mm, start. Oh, I could have used this command to run earlier. The yarn run. Okay. Let me now try something here. I'm just gonna rename this as push. Oh, okay. And let me also go ahead and here stop the server for now and add index.js and put the code here. And then we're gonna say yarn run. And we're just gonna start the server. Okay. It's running, and from here all the way to, oops. I'll delete everything. Okay, let me go ahead. There we go. Now we have the initial numbers, which is this guy here. Let's go ahead and where did we stop? Shift and on shift, right? Let me go ahead and remove the numbers dot shift, which is going to remove the first element, and I'm gonna just copy this and run it. After removing the first element, okay, save it. All right. So as you can see here, the first element is now removed. And now we have on shift and let, oops, let error length is equal to numbers dot on shift, and we need to put here the number we're trying to add. Okay. Error len. Let's go ahead and save this. Adding 9 to the beginning of the array and removing the first element of array. Return the new length of the array. So what happened here is that with numbers that shift, we're removing the first element of the array, but then on shift is actually going to add this number 9 to the beginning of the array, but then it's returning as onshift method's return type is the new length of the array. And now let's go ahead and also print out after adding a new element to the beginning. And new array, it's going to look something like this. Come on, refresh. Okay, what is the issue? Oh, what just happened? Let me see. I'm going to copy this one more time. New length the array after adding new number. That's the length, and after adding a new element to the beginning. Okay, there you go. So the new length after adding the new number, it changed to 6. because initially we had length 6, and then length became 5 because we removed the first element with the help of method shift, and then we used onShift method to add new element, which is number 9, to the beginning of the array. But onShift method, by nature, it returns the new length of an array. So here we're basically ARR length, storing the length of an array and printing it out here. And now after adding the new array, I print out the whole array. And now, as you can see here, number 9 has been added to the beginning of this array. Okay, and then we have method concat. Concat basically works just like in string. It basically adds 2 different arrays and combines them into one. As you can see, we have universities and colleges array. Universities is, for example, UIC, University of Illinois in Chicago, Northeastern University, Northwestern University. And then for college, we have Harper College, Oakton College, and let schools equals universities.concat colleges. And now we have UIC, NEU, NWU, Harper, Oakton, all in one array, which is called the schools. Cars equals, we have BMW, we have Lexus, we have Ford, we have GMC, or instead of GMC, let's have only European cars, Mercedes, Fiat. What other European car we have? Ferrari. And instead of European cars, now American cars. GMC, Cadillac, Chevrolet, and Ford. And then we're going to combine them into one, but cars and European cars dot concatenation, which is dot concat. We're going to put here American cars and console dot log. We're going to have cars here. If I save it, as you can see, now the entire 2 separate arrays have been combined into one array. Okay. Any questions? I think no. Then we're gonna go a little bit more into the challenging parts of the array methods. We have slice, which returns a shallow copy of a portion of an array into a new array object. Shallow copy means it works like substring. It works like substring, basically returns part of an array and stores it into a new array. Let me go ahead and do the same thing. We're gonna rename this to shift, unshift, right? And I'm gonna go ahead and create a new index.js. We're going to have here this is for slice, right? Okay. It's gonna have fruits in it and banana. Obviously, we're gonna start with that apple. Strawberry. Pineapple. Is pineapple fruit or? I think it's fruit, right? And we're gonna go a little bit tropical. Kiwi. Okay, let the middle two fruits. We're gonna have fruits. The slice and starting from so the length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's say I want the strawberry and pineapple. Okay, so what I would do is starting index 0, 1, 2. Start slicing from 2 and the end of the array, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So 4. And this is going to return the strawberry and pineapple only. Let's go ahead and console that. Let me go ahead and print here the initial. The initial fruits. And this is sliced the middle to fruits. Okay, let's go ahead and save this. Now I'm going to terminate this server. Go ahead and run it. Looks like it uses. Oh, okay, there we go. All right. So initially this is what we have, and then I sliced out the middle two elements, not middle two, but anything from the middle, right? So who can help me get these last two, pineapple and kiwi, using the slice method here?
It's this. Oh, you said pineapple and kiwi?
Yeah, last two.
Last two. 0, 1, 1, 2, 3. From 3 to 4? Like
3, 2, 4. Okay, let's do this. Last two fruits, let's see. And fruits, the slice, right?
yes.
Okay. What if I just put 3 here?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. The last two, pineapple and kiwi. Yeah. Or basically, I will have to put the second parameter right here. It has to, if for example, I provide instead of 5, I put 4 here, it's just going to get the last element.
Mm.
Basically, the second parameter, second argument is excluded, right?
Okay.
So see, if I did that, it only gave me pineapple. So it'll start from this index, it will end here, but this will be excluded. Only this will be included. So for that, I could either put 5 here, right? If I want all the way to the end, or another thing is the length of this array, fruits.length, or I can simply, if I want, for example, so let's say I want from strawberry all the way to the end, strawberry, pineapple, kiwi, then 0, 1, 2, I just need to provide here 2. Now save. As you can see, it gave me all 3. If I do not provide the second parameter like this, by default here, it'll take all the way to the end of the array. Cool. Any questions? I'm just gonna put this here like that so I can get last 2, pineapple and kiwi. All right, then next one is going to be the interesting one. Adds or removes elements from an array splice. And this is one of the most popular methods of an array in JavaScript to help us manipulate. So we have letters A, B, C, D. Oops. Oh, yeah, letters A, B, C, D, and letters that splice to 0, X. What does it mean? So add X at index 2, okay, by removing 0 elements. Okay, so basically what it says is, as you can see, 0, 1, 2, 3. We have 4 elements with index number 3. Now I'm adding letter X to the index 2, which is 0, 1, 2, as you can see, by removing 0 elements. I didn't remove any elements. All I did was the rest of the elements which come after index 2 basically got shifted to the right. And just added the X to the middle. Interesting? Let's go ahead and add one fruit here. Give me a fruit that is not here, Nurguna.
Let me check. Blueberry, it's not a fruit, but can you add blueberry?
Blueberry is not a fruit?
It's ягода.
Oh, this blueberry. I didn't know this is called. This is a fruit, right? Blueberry fruit. Yeah, it's a bear fruit. Bear fruit. Okay, so bears love to eat that, yeah?
Ягода.
This is ягода?
I think yes, but I see it on the tree.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and add blueberry. We're gonna add blueberry, for example, to index 1, okay? And we're not gonna remove any elements. We're going to, so after I did slice, the original array will still remain the same, okay? So here I'm gonna, oops, what did I do? Just copy it down here, bring it all the way. Let me save. As you can see, our original array remains the same, okay? So the slice doesn't affect our array. Instead, it creates a shallow copy. Basically, it creates a copy, meaning partial copy. Whatever the part that we want to copy out of our original array, this will help us with that. Okay, now we want to try splice and add blueberry at index 1. So we want to have blueberry here, yeah, and then shift all of the rest of the elements to the right. Let's go ahead and do that, and fruits dot splice, and at index 1, by deleting 0 elements, I want to add blueberry. Okay, let's go ahead and fruits after adding blueberry. There we go. There you go. See? Now we have banana as at index 0, it remains. And then we have blueberry, apple, strawberry, pineapple, kiwi. See? These got moved, shifted to the right. And blueberry became the element at index 0. Okay, now here it doesn't show an example for removing, okay? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna now give you guys an option to remove an element. Andrew, your turn to give me one fruit.
Mango.
Mango. Mango is not a fruit, man. It's a mango, veggie, right?
Yeah.
What? It's a fruit? Okay. So let's do this. I'm gonna remove strawberry and add here mango. Sounds good? So strawberry index is 0, 1, 2, 3 at index 3. Okay. So fruit dot splice index, I said 3, right? At 3, remove one element. So this is going to be removed, and instead now it's going to be replaced by mango. And oops. After adding mango and removing strawberry. There you go. Now we have pineapple, blueberry, apple, mango, and we had strawberry in here. And now strawberry is gone. We have mango instead, pineapple, kiwi. Cool?
Oh, but what if I wanna like remove kiwi and add strawberry? It only replaces and adds the fruit only from the place where we removing something.
Correct. No. I can remove. For example, see, I basically earlier removed only what? Strawberry, right? Added mango.
Yeah.
Let's say I want to remove these two, strawberry and pineapple, and only add mango. So kiwi will stay here. In that case, I need to say here, okay, I want to remove two elements. I want to insert mango at index 3, which is instead of strawberry, but I want to remove two elements. It removes. I want to remove both strawberry and pineapple and replace them by mango. You see? Banana, blueberry, apple, mango, and kiwi. Both strawberry and pineapple are gone.
Okay.
Two elements. What about 3? I will also remove kiwi. Yeah? So all I have to do is here, put 3. If I save it, as you can see now, it removed the last 3, strawberry, pineapple, kiwi. Starting from index 3, remove 3 elements and add mango to that index, specific index. Good?
Yes.
All right. Perfect. And fruits after adding mango, removing strawberry. Let's keep it like this. Strawberry, pineapple, and kiwi. How about I put these here? Okay. After adding mango, removing strawberry, pineapple, kiwi. There we go. Basically, adds new element to index 3 and removes 3 elements starting from that index. Okay. Twice. Okay, there we go. Cool. And obviously, I think index of is something that is commonly used between different programming languages, just like in Java, and also in, I think, with string, we use this. Index of returns the first index at which a given element can be found, or -1 if it's not present, right? So basically, given this animals, cat, dog, bat, and let index animals dot index of dog, which gives us returns us 1 because the element dog is located at index 1 at this moment. Let's do this. From right now, we have banana, blueberry, apple, mango. So let's get the index of apple. Let index of apple, it's equal to fruit dot index of, and we're going to put here an apple. And we're gonna print this out. Apples index is index of apple. There we go. And if I go ahead and save this, there you go. Index, apple's index is 2. Why? 0 banana, 1 blueberry, apple, number 2. And if the element does not exist, obviously it's going to return 0. For example, here I'm going to look for plum. See, -1 when the element doesn't exist. I said 0, right? So -1. It returns -1 if the element is not present in the given array. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fix it back to apple, and that should return us 2. As you can see here. Cool. And then we have includes method. Determines whether an array includes a certain value, and it returns true or false, basically. So from this animals again, cat, dog, bat, does it have the cat? Well, basically has cat is the variable animals that includes cat, and it returns true. So in here, after removing the strawberry, pineapple, kiwi, I'm gonna search for pineapple in this, okay? Let has pineapple equals fruits that includes pineapple, okay? And yesterday, the fruits have pineapple. Has pineapple. And let me go ahead and save. There, as you can see, does fruits have pineapple? It returns false because the pineapple is not in our array. We have removed it with the help of splice method, correct? Right here, we removed pineapple, strawberry, and kiwi. Okay, then we're gonna do the same thing, but with something that actually exists in our, we're gonna search for banana, and has banana. Let's include banana. Does fruits have banana? Has banana. Save it. There you go. Has banana. It returns true. Okay. All right. We're gonna take our 15-minute break, guys. Oh, 10-minute break, and then at 8 o'clock we'll have another 10-minute break. In the meantime, I will share this code in the Slack channel for you guys to, prepare this, and on the second half of the class when we do practice, we'll be utilizing the existing, you can refer to the existing code we have. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys, stick to it. Don't give up. Just really, really keep going. Okay, and that's the only way. You will see a huge impact of this knowledge when you're at work, and if you want to transition to developer, and even if you don't, it's just, again, it'll make you powerful. It'll give you wings to fly, and you will not face that fear anymore. Most of the time, when it comes to web technologies, a lot of people don't have that full understanding, and this will, I'm just giving you again because of what I just saw, but okay. Continuing with array methods. Basically, we have some higher order or higher order methods which work with arrays. One of them is for each, and it executes a provided function. It executes a provided function once for each array element. We will study these higher order functions. Higher order functions are functions which takes another function as an argument. Basically, a function argument is a function, and most of the time you can refer to it as anonymous function. Animals that for each, and then as you can see, animal is being passed as an argument to another function, and that function is basically printing it. And the only thing that you have noticed here is equal sign and the diamond operator or arrow symbol. So basically this means it's a we call it arrow function. Okay, arrow functions have been introduced on ES6 version of Java, which is JavaScript. ES6 has some of the really big changes in JavaScript world. JavaScript ES6 features. So ECMA script, basically ES. ECMA script 2015 is basically the second major revision to JavaScript. They brought the JavaScript up to industry standards. They bring it to the modern way of handling functional programming in JavaScript. ECMA script 2015 is also known as ES6, and basically it introduced really, really big, huge changes into JavaScript, which made JavaScript a very so much modern language, and such as let keyword, const keyword, the ones that we have covered, arrow functions, Object destructuring operator. Oh, these are the actual the object pairs. We'll cover them. And map the object, map object, set objects. These are the collections. For of, which is a loop type. Classes. There were some upgrades to JavaScript, the way we handle classes in JavaScript. Promises, async await functions, arrays. Bunch of array methods have been implemented, like keys, find index, entries, and as well as string. Includes, starts with, ends with. These were included only in ES6. But the biggest changes were one of the things called arrow functions. We will get to them later. So for now, let's just work with the way we can manipulate the arrays in a more traditional way, the way we used to handle until now. And later we will, once we cover higher order functions, which we call HOF, higher order functions, we are going to cover some of these. I can still show you what these mean. For example, map, it creates a new array with the results of calling a provided function on every element. It will basically call a function for every single element of an array. For now, we're going to go with a traditional way of handling the array loops. I am going to change this one to slice, and what was the other method? Splice, yeah? Okay. And I'm going to create here index.js and loops in with the concept of loops. I think you guys are familiar, right? Loops basically help us iterate over elements. For example, if we have this array, a array of characters, B, C, D. In order to access the elements of an array, just like in Java or any other programming language, we can utilize the indexes. So for example, the index of this element will be 0, and then index of this element will be 1. Index of C is going to be 2. Index of D is going to be 3. And we know this. 0, 1, 2, 3. So the length of this array, we can access it with the property called length. And in order to access each element of this array, we can use loops. Okay. To manipulate or to check the indexes of an array, I like to use the traditional for I loop. Yeah, which, oh, not this. There you go, the regular for loop. Okay, the regular way of using the for loop in JavaScript. Basically, we access it, what we do is we loop until the length, one less than the length of an array, and then we manipulate index by plus, meaning keep increasing it until it becomes one less than the length of an array. And with each iteration, we can access the elements of array with the help of indexes. So for example, to access the, let's say this is letters. Let's say if this is the letters, these are the indexes. If I want to access letter A, then letters 0 would give me letter A. I think we are all familiar with this. Nurgulia, how would I access letter B here?
Yeah, letter 1 gives
Letters 1, index 1, right? Okay, Janara, C. Janar, sorry. Letters 2, right? And this is going to be letters 3, 4, letter D. Okay. As you can see, the increment here, 0, 1, 2, 3. It's incrementing, increasing. It was 0, then 1, 2, 3. These are in order, right? As you can see right here, 0, 1, 2, 3. So since it's increasing, with the help of for loop, for example, let I equals 0 while I is less than 5, I plus plus. Oops. Then what does it mean? Basically, I'm just going to console log the index each time when I run this. I'm going to stop the server and run yarn run start. There you go. And let me bring this up here. As you can see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why 4? Because I, as soon as I becomes 4, it's 1 less than 5. So I cannot exceed 5. Therefore, it iterates 5 times here, but 1 less than the 5. That's why we see 4 here, because we're starting from 0. If I was to start from 1, then I would just see 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we do not see 0 anymore, right? But if I can change this logic here to while I is less than or equal to 5, keep iterating, then in that case, I will see 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Can you
How
please
many times?
remind me here, what does it mean I plus plus in this case? I forgot.
Yeah, definitely. So I plus plus is an increment. So the concept of for loop, it works in this way. Let me see, how can I annotate? Yeah. Annotate, okay. So the concept of for loop, basically, it works, we start from here. Let me change the color to red. So as you can see, I initialized, this is same thing as if I was to initialize a new variable, right? Let name equals Nurgulia, for example. Or in this case, I'm initializing let I, basically I'm declaring a variable called I and initializing it to 1. And I'm saying while, so this I right now is 1, and then we go to, after the initialization, we go to the next statement here. And I'm saying, is I, which is 1, less than 10? Yes. Okay. Then after this step, I go inside the body of this for loop. This is the scope. Opening scope, closing scope, right? Which is the curly brackets. After I verified that I, in fact, is less than 10, which is 1 right now, is 1 less than 10? Yes. Then go inside and execute the code inside of this for loop. And now I printed 1, okay? After I print 1, then I go ahead and from here, I need to now go and check again. Oh, increment. So from here now, I go to the increment, which is I++. I++ basically means I equals I plus 1. Okay. So now I was 1. Then after executing this code, and I go ahead and increment, now I becomes 2. And from here, I go back and check the condition again. After I incremented the I to 2, is I, which is 2, less than 10? Yes. Okay, then go ahead and execute the code inside the body of my statement right here. So now it prints out 2.
So each time it just adds 1
Yes.
until our like loop will be correct.
Eh,
Like
until this condition evaluates
condition,
to
yeah.
false.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as this becomes false, and at what point this will become false?
When I will be more than 10.
When
So
I will
if
be
it's gonna
10.
be 10, yeah, if I will be 10, if we add like less or like equal, then it's gonna take 10 as well.
Correct.
Okay,
So
got it.
if at 10, this will become false, and we will not go inside of this array, the body of the for loop. At 10, this will be terminated.
Mhm.
Okay, clear. So now, if I save this, as you can see, it ran it up to 9, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And as you mentioned, Nurgul, if I put here an equal operator also, while I is less than or equal to 10, in this case, it's going to execute to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. Okay. Nurgul, quick question to you. How many times it's going to iterate now?
Well, it divides only 1, 2 times. Because first it's gonna be 1 and the condition will be true, and then it increases by 1 by +1 and it's gonna be 2. So it takes 2 as well because 10 divided by 5 it's 2. And then the third condition would be false already. So 2 times.
That's it. Correct. 100%. There you go.
Okay.
Andrew, what do you think? How many times I'm going to iterate now?
3.
3, right? Okay.
Yep.
Good. Perfect. All right. I think you guys understood this part, so I'm just gonna do that. And for now, so again, if this is my array, I'm really going to use that array here. And instead of this, I'm gonna use letters.length, which gives us the length of the array, which is in this point at this point. In this example, the length of array is 4. And if you notice, see, I'm not using here semicolon, right? Even if I don't use JavaScript, still works. In Java, it's must. During compile time, it understands, but in arrays, in JavaScript, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that, and let's see. And here, let me save. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4. Why am I not seeing A, B, C, D, Nurgule?
Why do you say A, B, C, D?
Why am I not seeing A, B, C, D, but I'm only seeing 1,
The
2, 3, 4?
numbers?
Mhm.
Because you asked to see the because you put the semicolons. Wait, let me check.
Read again, yeah.
This 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just from the loop
Mm-hmm.
and the result of the loop, and your
Mm-hmm.
length, it's only 4 because you have 4 letters. So
Uh-huh.
have 4 conditions, which is true, and the fifth one is false. So that's why 4.
How can I print A, B, C, D instead of 1, 2, 3, 4?
So you said JavaScript, it doesn't matter semicolons or no, right? Not maybe lengths, but different condition.
Mm-hmm. No, length is fine. Andrew, I want to print A, B, C, D. Help me.
So let I equal 0,
I equals 0. Uh-huh.
I less,
Mm-hmm.
and
Less than letters length. Okay.
yeah, and console log letters, maybe braces and 1.
Square brackets and
I
or 1.
I
Okay. Save and boom, we see A, B, C, D, right? So Nurgulia, remember, to access the elements of an array, we use square brackets and the index. We pass the index inside of it, okay?
Okay.
It will give us the element stored in that. Okay. Another question to you, Nurgulia. Let cars again. Oops. And inside these cars, I have Toyota, and I have BMW, and I have Ford, and I have Fiat. I want to print out BMW. How can I do that, Nurgul?
You just put like cars
Mm-hmm. Oops.
and square brackets. You want to see the Ford one, right? So
BMW.
BMW 0, 1, 1.
That's it. What is going on? Oh, I have extra. Okay. There you go. Cool. Okay. And now help me loop it and print out all the cars. Or let index equals 0. Index is less than what? Cars dot length index plus plus in console.log cars index. And if I save, and now I see Toyota, BMW, Ford, Fiat, right? Any questions now? Okay.
By index.
We can use here any variable name we want, right? We could use index, or I can change it to ind. So this is a variable, basically, just like when you're declaring a variable. Here you can use any variable name.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, any variable name, that's fine. Okay, then here's your task, everybody. So take this array, okay, and add 2024 to it. So the expected output I want is this. Two thousand twenty-four, 2024, 2024, 2024. Okay. I will give you add 2024 to each array element and basically create a new array and each array element. So if you guys remember, right, Siren? If you guys remember, we were using a method called push. And right before that, let me go ahead and do this. For example, if I have let veggies equal empty. So I have an empty array right now, yeah? So let's say I want to add here broccoli. All I have to do is push broccoli. Okay, and now if I, for example, print it out, veggies, if I save, as you can see, I have broccoli in it now. And the same thing, for example, here, and broccoli. What other veggie do we have? Carrot. And now I have just added carrot to my array. Save it. As you can see, now I have broccoli and carrot. And I could also shift or unshift, right? So veggies dot unshift, and I can go ahead and add here what? Potato. Potato. There you go. And now, as you can see, potato has been added to the beginning, and broccoli and carrot have been shifted to the right. So we are able to add elements both from the end using with the help of push method and unshift to the beginning of the array. So we are able to add elements to an empty array. Now, this is the given array. I want you guys to add 2024 to the end of each element and basically create a new array. Take these elements and add 2024 to the end of each of the elements. I give you 5 minutes or 10 minutes. What do you think? There we go. All right, here. Let me. Cars. Oops. And there we go. It added 2024 to each one of them. Okay. Okay. Let's say to identify if the given number is even, we can use modulus or modula, right? As an example here, 10 modulo 2 equals 0, even number. Okay. Now, what I want to do is from numbers 0 to 20, I less than 20, I plus plus. I want to print out only even numbers. If I modulo 2 equals 0, then console.log print out that I. So if I save it, as you can see, we are seeing numbers from 0 to 20, but less than 20. So 0, 2, 4, 6, all the even numbers only, right? And your turn is to now print all the not even, or we call them odd numbers. Yeah? Print odd numbers from 0 to 20. 20 exclusive. It's not an odd number anyway, so, but anyways, it's exclusive. Here's the task.
It's not quite right, right? Because it's showing me. Oh
Number
no,
divisible by 3.
yeah. I just use same code but put 3 because it's odd number.
Mm.
But I guess it includes 12 as well, so it's not correct.
Mm-hmm. So here's one way you can use. I need to. Oh, not modulo 2.
Oh
So,
yeah, we have not equal.
yep. Console.log. There are multiple ways. Odd numbers. There we go. So odd numbers 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, blah blah blah. So whenever the remainder is not equal to 0, or what Andrew suggested is also good. If the remainder is equal to 1, because with each number, again, if it's 1, you divide it by 2, what is your remainder? 0, right? No, not 0. 0.5, right? So that is going to be an odd number. Now, any number where the remainder is going to be 1, for example, let's start with, oops, 2. With 2, how do we get the remainder of 1? One modulo 2 is 1. Oops, where did it go? Yeah. Oh, this is too much of an explanation for us. For example, 17 modulo 2, we understand we multiplied by in this case with 8. So 8 times 2 is going to be 16, and 17 minus 16 is going to be 1. So in this case, we get the remainder as 1. Let's go back to our basically general formula for modulo 2 computation is a modulo 2, where a is the number being divided by 2. And let's look at our code where he does 1 modulo 2. I don't see that. Andrew, how would you explain 1 mod 2?
Say it again.
1 modulo 2 is equal to what?
1.
How would you explain that?
1 cannot be divided by 2. So the only one left.
Look,
So remainder will be 1.
remainder, right? So how does the result of 1 modulo 2 is equal to 1? I get that with 3 modulo 2, 2 goes in 1 and 1 is left over, but 2, however, doesn't go into 1. Once it goes in 0, is the remainder 1? It
Yeah,
didn't do
it's
anything.
like 100 modulus 101. The remainder will be 100 because it cannot be divided.
No, remainder will be 1, right?
No,
Oh, you said
I'm
100?
saying 100 modulus 101.
101. Yeah.
Remainder will be 100.
Yep. Itself, basically.
Yeah.
Here you go. Good explanation also in here. 1 modulo 1 divided by 2 is 0.5, but rounded up to 1. 3 divided by 2 is 1.5, drop the 1, and 0.5 gets rounded up to 1. That could be one of the explanations to easily explain. Another way, floor. I don't think floor is the way to go here. Oh, this is from the mathematical formula. Okay. 1, 3, 5, 7. So basically we're getting all the odd numbers starting from 0 up to 1 less than 20. Basically less than 20. Good. Next, I wanted to basically do the same example, but this time with a little bit of challenge in the length of the array element. So you guys have created the cars and concatenated 2024 to it. Given that example, or given this example, yeah, the task is to print out given array this console log, console the element with odd length. Makes sense, right? So from this, I would get BMW, and let me also add here Lexus. I should get only BMW and Lexus from here. Lexus. So in this case, if I have a word, let's say from cars, I want to get the length of Toyota, right? Toyota length equals cars dot length. Nope, cars dot 0 dot length. And I can print it out. Toyota length. If I save, Toyota word length. There you go. Toyota has 6 letters in it, right? So because that I'm seeing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So because that I'm seeing 6 letters, I mean number 6 here. So the same thing now, given this array of cars, print out only elements where the length is odd. Should be another 5. That's fine. All right. So basically, the way we check if the given, the length of given element of an array, we first need to access the element, And then with the help of length property, we then can check the length of the element. So for example, let I equal 0 while I is less than cars dot length I plus plus, and obviously here const I'm just gonna call it car, and yeah, let's just go ahead and call it car. So from cars, we're gonna access the index, and if car dot length modulo 2 is equal to 1, then go ahead and print out that car. So in this case, if I save it, it just printed out BMW. Why? Because I forgot to add Lexus to the cars. So in this case, I see BMW and Lexus. Yeah, because both cars have the length equal to odd, meaning odd length. Any questions on this, Nurgul?
No, now it looks easy peasy.
Right. So do you understand this part, what I did here?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me what's happening here.
So you're checking the length of the car and using this condition where it returns with the modulus the like odd of the length of the cars, it returns those cars.
No, what's happening on line 58 right here?
Oh, 58. So by defining cars and like square brackets, I think here you're like you're storing the lengths of the cars of the each cars.
No, I'm not storing the length. I'm simply storing the current element of an array to this car variable. So car variable to store the current element. So in
Store the current element.
yes.
So like it's loop, and inside of the loop when it's checking each element.
Yep.
Okay.
So each time when I loop over, for example, the first time when I is equal to 0, cars square bracket I has one element at a time first, while it's 0, it has Toyota. And so I'm taking the Toyota and storing it inside this car element. I mean, variable. See, const car. Or I could put here let. That's also fine. Let or const is fine. And I'm basically storing the current element in here and checking if the current element's length modulo 2 is equal to 1.
Okay, so here every time it putting like first Toyota, then BMW, and
Exactly.
then Ford. Okay.
One element at a time, it's
Mm-hmm.
looking good. Great. And okay. So we remember starts with and ends with methods from string. What do? They just simply check if the current element or the current string starts with certain character or partial string. For example, let's say I have name equals Nora, and name that starts with, and I put here no, right, Nora. This returns true. And obviously the same thing ends with just A. This returns true. Why? Because it's ending with A and it's starting with no. and all, right? So task is given the same cars here, right? Print out the cars that starts with letter F or L. But one more thing, it can only be, you can only check the condition for lowercase. So however you convert this to lowercase, each element at a time, it's up to you. Sounds good? Oops. Does it make sense?
But first, we need to convert all of them to lowercase and then like put the condition.
That works by me. That works. Yeah, that works for me.
Okay.
Now, the task was again to print out the cars that starts with the letter F or L. And this is Andrew's solution. This is perfect. The only thing maybe I would change here is just, you know, car equals, and I would just take this up here so I don't have to repeat myself. And here, all I would do is change car that starts with F, or the same here, starts with L, and do this, right? Wait, it looks just a little bit more organizing. Yeah, we could keep this. Perfect. And now, if I go ahead and run that, we'll see. Let's terminate the server again, run it again. Okay, there we go. Course. Uh, yeah, Ford, Fiat, and Lexus. These three. Perfect. I think you guys are getting hang of this stuff now. And next thing we're gonna talk about is very quickly see if this is something that will make our lives easier. So in JavaScript, we have this for off and for in loop types. And they're basically used for looping or iterating over elements of array and objects, but they have different purposes and behave in distinct ways. Basically, for in, it loops over enumerable properties or keys of an object. So in this case of an array, we're talking about the indexes. So for example, here, if we have a number of arrays, which is 10, 20, 30, basically with the help of for, let me zoom in a little bit more. There you go. Let index in array, or let I in array, right? And in this case, it basically, for these given numbers, it prints out, when I print out, it prints out the indexes only, or we can also refer to it as indices. Now, for in loops include all enumerable properties, including those inherited through the prototype chain. Avoid for arrays unless specifically working with keys. So with arrays, we should be very cautious. The traditional way of using the traditional array, which is for I, while it's less than the length of array, blah, 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 that's much better for manipulating the arrays. Now, however, we have for off, which is a very good way to use to loop over arrays. Basically loops over the values of an iterable object like arrays, strings, maps, and etc. Now, we're gonna use the only difference between for let in and for let off is that the keyword here, off or in. So in this case, when we use the same array 10, 20, 30 with the keyword off, this case we print out the value. Basically, these are the actual elements values from a given array. I think this is one of the really good ways for us to, if we're not, for example, if we do not care about the index of an array, we don't have to do anything with an index. We simply are just going over the array. And like in the example where we did lowercase and check starts with or ends with letter L or F, for that scenario, I think this is going to work perfectly. We could use the same method of loop in strings in JavaScript. Let char of str. Basically, it accesses each character of the string. We don't have to worry about the map part right now. All right. So going back to our code here, I'm going to rename this guy. And this was mainly loops array. And create a new index.js. And here, for in. Oops. So let, we're gonna talk about, for example, schools equals, we got, let me use this Stanford. What's next? MIT, of course. Next, Harvard. Next, Princeton. Next, Yale. Okay. So with the help of let school in schools. Yeah. And here, if I print out the school, it's going to print me the index of that school. So I'm gonna save it, and this is going to complain. So I need to terminate this server, create a new server. There you go. So right now it's printing 1 0 1 2 3 4. So I got 1 2 3 4 5 schools here. So therefore it's printing starting from index 0 all the way up to 4. So if I wanted to print an actual value of the actual element of this array, then in that case, I could go this way. So since this is the index right now, it's indicating the index. There you go. See, it's printing 0 Stanford, 1 MIT, 2 Harvard, and etc. And if I wanted to combine them like this, let me use concat. Yeah, this is bad. What does it say? School.concat. Oh, I need to put there we go. Come on. Oh, concat. There we go. 0 Stanford, 1 MIT, Harvard, blah, 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 blah. Any questions here? Or instead of this concat thing and others, I could simply use this, right? Console.log and put here school and plus, just do this, plus schools and school. This would have made more sense in this scenario specifically. Okay. But here again, this will indicate the index. So it would better be to use index right now. And I forgot to change this to index. There you go. Okay. Or we simply can use I. Let I in schools, I, just like in a traditional, conventional for loop. So what is this, Nurgule?
Let I
Mhm.
index of the Stanford MIT
Index of the elements of the array.
elements of the array.
This is basically let I, it's a variable. I is a variable, which is indicating the index of elements from this given array. Good. All right. Now, the other way of looping over arrays, it's the one we showed. Let, for example, school of schools and console.log, we simply out to print school. Boom. There you go. See, this is the output that we have. Comment this guy out, and yeah, this one out. And there you go. See, Stanford, MIT, Harvard, Princeton. So in this case, for our earlier example, if I wanted to utilize this way of using loops, I could simply take this out if, for example, yeah, school dot to lowercase that starts with, in this case, I want to print out either, for example, S for Stanford, or starts with H for Harvard, then print, oops, dot log school. There you go. And a lot of people use this in real world like loops and scenarios. They, for some reason nowadays, they prefer let off because it's less code to write, correct? So what I'm thinking is do the same here. Const school lowered equals this, boom, and school lowered, same here, school lowered. There we go. And yep. Good. No questions?
I have
Oh,
a question. So,
yes.
why we need this for off here specifically? We already have inside of the schools those like Harvard, Yale, etc. What if in the condition we just gonna use schools, not school? I understand that school in this case is just variable, right? Like, so why we need to put it inside to school and then reuse it? In the previous one where we used like index of the words, I got it. But in this case, we are using the same like Stanford, MIT, and Harvard, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as you can see, this is school. It's just one. This is schools. So basically, in order to loop over this array and see one element at a time, for example, right? Or any manipulation or data filtering or data processing or some kind of data aggregation, we need to access this array. In order to access this array, we can either go with a traditional way like this, let I equal 0 while I is less than the length, school.length, I++. We could definitely use that, but it will be used only when there's a need for the index. If we care about which index it's located at and etc., then we use this. But if we do not care about the index, we just want the element. See, school off, this is returning us the actual school itself. So for example, let me remove this and let me run it. See, it's giving me Stanford, the only element itself, not the index. I don't see the indexes here. So in this case, this is very useful.
Okay, got it.
Depending on the requirement again, right? We go back. Okay, this is going to be it for today, guys. What I would suggest is array is a big portion of programming, as you know. Let it be in Java, JavaScript, or whatever the programming language is. In order to understand its logic, the way it works, how we can manipulate, what are different ways of accessing data, retrieving data, removing data, adding data, changing the data in the arrays, right? I would highly suggest to practice, and that there are I personally like codingbat.com. Even though it's designed for Java and Python, you can still utilize the same problems there and just think from a JavaScript perspective. For example, the array 1 here, it says make last. So here, given an integer array, return a new array with double the length where its last element is the same as the original array and all the other elements are 0. The original array will be length 1 or more. So for example, this would be perfect for me to practice. Again, even though it's Java, but I can definitely convert this to JavaScript. All I care about is the code, the logic inside. So we just need to double this, right? So if this is our given array in JavaScript, I would simply create new array equals this and just double the length of this guy. How? For let I equals 0 while 0 I is less than nums dot length multiplied by 2 I plus plus and new error dot push. Oh, yeah, while it's less than the double the length, I could simply if, for example, I is less than the this, or you can create another, so double length, and you can just say nums dot length multiplied by 2. In that case, you don't even have to, so dbl length minus 1, then just new error dot push, and we can push here 0. Else, as soon as it's bigger than that, new error dot push nums dot length. Oh, nums dot length minus 1. Let's go ahead and run this. 4, 5, 6, it says, right? Yeah. So let nums equals 4, 5, 6, and at the end, just print out the new error. Let's save it. As you can see here, 0, 0, 0, 0, and 6 at the end. And this is the expected output, see? Now, even if I was to give this 1 and 2, 0, 0, 0, 2, they want, right? Let's do that. Instead of this, 1, 2. Save. As you can see, 0, 0, 0, 2. So this is just something that came to my mind right away. But you can definitely solve it in different ways. You could definitely use, for example, splice, right? Splice first time, but then concat. Use concat to the new array, and then the next time concat to the new array, but splicing everything and replacing everything by 0 except for the last element. I mean, there are so many different ways to actually do this, but this is just one of them. So I would definitely go to Coding Bat and practice, get the question from here, but solve it using JavaScript. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.